Hey guys, Double Wide 6 here, and bringing you a bit of a different video. So one of the nice things that I really enjoy about YouTube is that when you have your own channel, you can do whatever you want to do. So sometimes I'm doing pool videos, other times I'm doing lawnmower videos, and today I'm doing a pretty bizarre video. It's actually on how to stack rocks. So we'll get right to it. Alright guys, here's a look at some of the rock work completed.
Could I borrow this one? Can I borrow this camera?
Yep. It's a good way to get in the zone.
How do you get this on?
So we're walking around these, and I just want to give you guys a close-up look at some of these. Some of them are made out of 3, 4, 6 rocks. And what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to ask my assistant to knock them over. Bobby, go ahead, knock one over.
No.
He won't do it. Well, I'll show you that they're real a little later. And these two here, well, I've been hard at work. These two built this rock collection, so they did a nice job. Bips and Poobah, nice work, kids. Helping out Daddy. Yeah, take a picture of me. Yeah, anyhow, no glue, no rods, no smoke, no mirrors. Alright, so here's our rock formations, and for the non-believers, we're going to show you that there's no tricks. So here you go. This one. Whoops. Next one. Right here. Look at that.
Look at
Ready?
that guy.
This one.
This one.
Whoop. Get that last one. And these two my son did. This one and that one. So we'll leave them together. Hey.
Hey.
What'd you do that for?
What'd you do that for?
That's what I said. I was thinking about making one of those like water fountain, water feature type things out by the pool. And I was looking at some pictures and I see, you know, like these 3 rocks, river rocks, stacked like that, real neat looking. And it's supposed to be peaceful and zen-like. So I thought it was pretty cool. I looked at them, they looked like, you know, I thought that they were fake, like they had glue on them or like rods in them. So anyhow, I went outside and I started playing around, and I realized I could stack the rocks pretty well. So I was going to show you guys how to do that. So if you want to stack some rocks, it's a lot like building a house. First of all, you got to start out with a good foundation rock. This rock happens to be pretty large compared to the other rocks I have, and when I set it down, you want to try and set it down in a way that it doesn't wobble. So you want to find a rock that you can set so it's nice and level or still, won't wobble on you. And if you're working on dirt, you could put a little dirt underneath the edges and level it out. So since this has a little bit of a wobble, I'm actually going to cheat and stick a little shim under the back of this one. So once you have your base rock set up, the next thing you want to do is you want to look at the profile of the rock. You want to look for basically any indication of kind of notches that are within the grain of the rock. So up here is kind of like this little divot. So that should work nice to hold my next rock. So the whole thing that's cool about doing this is, you know, you want to make it look as impossible as possible. So you want to make it look impossible because that looks cool. If we just set a rock on there like that, big whoop, grandma can do that. So what we want to do is we want to make it look cooler. And as you can see, this rock here is kind of has a thin shape, and you'll see it has a notch out of it. I did not do that. That's just chipped out of it from being in my landscape. So I'm going to work with the notch on my base rock, and I guess, this flat edge, and we're basically gonna try and set the rock on there and find a happy medium just where it wants to balance. So what you do is you just kind of set it on there till it feels balanced, and then gradually spin it either to the left or to the right until it seats itself. So that rock is on there and it's looking real good. So the next step, we're going to put a rock on top of that, and if we look at our second rock real close up here, you can kind of see a little bit of veining in the rock. Well, that's a rough spot, and that's good. That's going to give our next rock something to grab onto. So for my next rock, I'm going to use this rock, and rather than lay it on there like that, I'm going to try and stand it up. So we're just going to take our time here, and I'm going to have to go to the tripod to show you this. Alright, we're on the tripod. There's no glue in there, so we'll put this thing back. You can see it's not the easiest thing to do, but we'll find a spot where she balances. So I'm just trying to set it in there and then spin it. There we go. So that's on there. And now for this one, this rock, if I look at the bottom, you can see that there's kind of like a little divot there, so I use that as a way to grip. And I'm going to have to use my hand to help balance this first rock. And I'm just setting it on there, and I'm feeling the rock, and I want it to you know, feel no pressure against my fingers. So when it feels balanced, it probably is. So you can see there I have it balanced, and that looks pretty sweet. So if we take a look around there, you can see I have it balanced nice. And now we can go up even another rock if we want to. So alright, so I don't know, you know, I am not a rock balancing expert, but I don't know if you have to be. But I'm going to even try and go up even a rock higher. I'm really tempting fate here. Wow, it's a beautiful thing. So it's really not that hard to balance rocks, and it looks real cool. So if you have like a fountain out in your yard or something like that, you could stack some rocks around it. I've seen rocks like this, actually huge ones, rocks that might weigh like 40-50 pounds, stacked just like this, upright, and you know, it looks pretty amazing. I remember being down at the beach and seeing these rocks just like this in this type of formation, and it just looks so fascinating. So you know, years later, here I am actually doing it. It's not really that hard to do. You should try it. The problem is I have dogs and I have kids, and these rocks are going to fall, and it's going to hit either a toe or a paw, and you know, it could be kind of dangerous. So I think what I'm going to try and do is, you know, stack some rocks in a way that looks pretty cool, and maybe even in an impossible way. And I might try and bust out my hammer drill and see if I can't make a couple rock formations using you know, some sort of rods in between the rocks, and that way I can actually just leave them in the garden or whatnot, and they'll look cool. They won't fall down when the wind blows real hard, and you know, just something neat. So as I said, I'm double wide 6, and this is stacking rocks, and it's kind of a weird video. Might appeal to some of you, it might not, but you guys can let me know. You can either thumb up, thumb down, leave a comment, because I have more wacky videos like this up my sleeve. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned.